And today, my husband wanted to tackle the Stallion and Tory Lanez situation.
Yes.
Apparently, he has a lot to say.
Yes, sir, y'all. It done got into me like it's got into my soul. Now I'm itching like a crackhead. I need to talk about some things. And, y'all definitely check out my wife and what she's got going on because she's going to be able to talk about more stuff probably to this. But I have to put on my own perspective and a spin. And y'all, I'm 41 years old. 42 because you was about to hate. So let me go and get my year in. So 42, and what I want to say is, y'all, I'm gonna say it. What's WAP? Let's go backwards.
WAP.
WAP. See, I knew you was gonna correct me because I always butcher stuff. So let me call Paul. So I would say that y'all are perpetrating as weirdos because I don't understand how we can look at things and then pretend like we don't understand how women do for us. Now, I'm going to speak for what I know and what I can talk about. Like there's a big brand and there's women, but I'm gonna talk about the black women and the brown women. And so what I'm gonna tell you guys is let's just be honest with ourselves. When it comes down to it, you have one or two friends, and then you have your girl. Now, if you out here, your side girl and your main girl, those are two different girls. But if you being a good dude, you have your girl, and that girl, you tell everything. You tell about the guys that you don't really trust. You tell her everything. We will put things on women, and they don't blink. They are more solid than men are. And we know that as a fact. Like a lot of times we'll be like, yo, you come to your girl like, man, I just can't trust Ricky, but I trust you. We do this stuff all the time. And I'm seeing all these plugs and these stories about like, I can't believe that she held it together after being shot. Man, girls be in positions like this all the time. And I'm going to say girls and then they turn into women. So girls, to me, initially start out like just rocking with us. And it's because how we look, our style. Women of color understand what it means for us to get in trouble by the law. That it can turn ugly. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we go to a girl's house before we turn ourselves in. Or we just all kinds of things. Like if one of our friends passes, we might show some emotions to those guys, but when we go home, we're really showing those emotions to our women. Because our women know our deep secrets. They know if we're really hard, if we're really about that life, if we're not. And so this whole situation of this girl getting butchered, like you can't believe that somebody wild out on her and she held her tongue, because most guys, if we want to keep it real, would not do the same. We would say no. Like if a guy did that to us, we're airing him out. If we don't embarrass him publicly, we're telling all our friends like homeboy is shady, man. He almost shot me in the car. Like we telling folks. And so for her to remain like quiet and like have to listen to it, and for all y'all weirdos to be, I'm talking to the males because I can't speak for the females, but I know for a fact, like growing up since I was younger, like there was always a girl that I really felt like I could tell more things to. Or I could tell things about, like I might have to go to court. I would tell my homeboys that. Who gonna put this stuff on our books, or who gonna do all that real stuff? Like it's got me vexed, y'all. Like vexed, like Thriller. Like I'm feeling some kind of way.
Right. So I've been saying this for a long time, and I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it 10,000 more times. But Black women are the least protected, women, least protected beings on the earth. And the fact is, we are at the forefront of every protest and every rally when it comes to our Black men, right. But we don't get that same energy. Right. I can't talk. I'm sorry. Meg Thee Stallion, she did nothing that most of us haven't done, and that was protect somebody who hurt her.
Hold us down.
Like, let's be honest, domestic violence victims do it. Victims of sexual assault do it. Mm-hmm. What she did is not a foreign concept. It actually needs to be addressed because it does no good, because clearly people still don't believe her story. Right. And for me, Tory Lanez is a whole punk. Right. Like, it's not, what is he, 5'2"? He a whole 5'2" punk. And it's no excuse for it. Like, I'm seeing people say, well, we don't know what she did. What could she have done to him to make him shoot her?
Come on, man. Let's be real. We know egos is fragile, especially for a man. Like, let's not get that thing twisted. Like, it's weird. Like like we are speaking for somebody that he has not spoken for. So we've got her version, and we don't even hear his version, and it's telling me that we don't even need to hear his version because the jury's already out on her, and that's ridiculous because it wouldn't be out if it was two dudes. Like we want both sides. Like listen, man, you might be a little lot. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we want both sides, and like so to not have both sides. And I'm gonna tell you this, like I've been telling my wife, like I didn't look at things like this, and it's like it's just because I'm to me just paying attention. And I think a lot of times as a black man, I just realize how hard it is for a black man. And I just think as a black woman, she gets it, but how hard can she really get it? I don't really take the time to understand that or really think about it. And it's dawned on me that we really don't. Like a lot of times our women are really right beside us, rocking with us, getting that same hate, getting that same spit, that same type of energy. That's your girl that's right beside you. Not your homeboy that's sneaking and laughing or doing or whatever. No, it's normally your woman that's right there, riding harder than you are. Trust and believe me, anything happen, my woman gonna be right here. Like, and that's not like tell her to go in the house. It's gonna be like, yo, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's weird that we're attacking her, right? Like we're attacking her. We can't even possibly relate that. We know there's sucker dudes all the time. There's sucker females, but right now I'm talking about a sucker dude because you know, when you stand up and things are the truth, you speak on them. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear about lawyers. I want to hear about all of those things. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't do nothing, if it was all of this, that, and the third, then talk about it. If you ain't talk, what can you say now? What could you possibly say?
Right. And for me, if I didn't shoot you, I'm going to come out and because she's the victim. So I feel like the victim can take as long as they want to tell about their trauma. That's their trauma that they have to process, right? But the perpetrator, if I didn't shoot you, I'm coming out with a bullhorn and I'm like, I didn't do it.
Yeah,
like
listen,
prove it or something.
The
fact is he's quiet and his camp is trying to spin the story to make it look like Megan is the problem. Tory Lanez, I would say, is a whole punk. Like I need somebody to give me a good reason as to why he would have shot her.
And like listening to like all these fools that was like, yo, you mess with the demon and demon stuff and all of this. Like, listen, how y'all sound? Like how
absolutely ridiculous.
Like how do you sound? Again, I'm realizing in general what happens with victims are they have to go on the defense. They have to protect themselves. And then they have to prove without a shadow of a doubt. Like the person, the accuser doesn't have to do that. But the victim, man, we cross-examine and x-ray them like yes. In 3D. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gotta be like for real, like, nah man, something about you. Something about like where's the decency? And the reason why I'm speaking is that a lot of men are not speaking on it. And I get there's an uncomfortable thing. Like I don't want us to be at a barbershop and be talking about like, you know, man, that toilet ain't nothing, man. Like I don't want to be in a small place in a convenience store talking about, you know, he did her dirty. But we ain't gonna say nothing right now because we can't listen, man. Let's throw all of those kind of fringes that we have in our heads about. Let's throw those things away because that don't mean anything. If we can say that outside to the neighbors, to the people on the phone, like, yeah, man, he was out of pocket. If we can say that, then we should say it right now.
You should say it loudly.
And well, I don't know about loudly, but we should say it. Like you want to control the volume.
No, I'm saying loudly when I say not behind closed doors. I mean loudly, like on social media and stuff, not just on phone conversations. That's what I'm talking about.
You explained it.
I really do hate your gut.
And so what my thank you. And so it's one of those things where it's like, yo, people are really confusing street, real, and all that. Street means you just do street stuff. Real dudes, real men or real women, they speak and they stand out no matter what it is. You're always going to hear them, and they're going to be in the front. They're going to be in the middle. They're not going to be in the back. I'm not going to speak about, but there's people playing politics and sides and all that kind of stuff, which is just weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when things are just wrong, when are we going to get it and just say? And now I got to sit back and think about how many times I've seen a woman, you know, take the L for the dude or stand up for him, and they don't get that same thing. They don't get that same energy until they are extreme and sort of extreme. And just being loud is now being extreme. No, that's called being tired. Like how, like as a black man, how I'm tired of certain things, they tired. This is a different level. So if y'all don't understand it, then y'all need to start understanding because it's happened and it's been happening.
And I feel like I think sometimes that our strength and our ability to cover Black men is also becoming our weakness, because now it's expected for us to do it. And then when we're like, yo, I'm not doing this anymore, we become it's like we're the problem. Megan Thee Stallion was shot, y'all. She was shot. And somehow the narrative has become, well, she was beating up on him. Where's the proof of that?
Somehow it's about her positioning in it, like what she had to do, why she didn't do it, why she didn't move a certain way. She is moving more into the cold than the average person is. And then she realized, like most people, that if the code is not reciprocated, then you really look like you're gonna be asked out. And that's what it's like. Like, listen, I held it on because the truth of the matter, y'all, if she would have exposed him as high as this tension is, he could have gotten killed. He could have been hurt. It could have been a volatile situation for a whole lot of people. Are we going to pretend like that's not even a possibility? It is.
And it happens all the time.
It's happening now.
All the time.
Right there.
We protect the perpetrators at the expense of ourselves. It's not, that's what I think is really bugging me, because people are like so surprised by it, but it's not a foreign concept. It's a sad concept. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been doing it for hundreds of years, and for hundreds of years, Black men have thrown us under the bus.
Yeah, but y'all should have been stopped that. That's all y'all fault. That's it. I digest.
Please digest that stupidity. But I will kind of agree with you though, because we should have been stopped it. Like, in all honesty,
that's a part of it. So what I'm telling y'all is like, there's a part that there are men that like subconsciously we just don't get. And I'm saying, like, okay, for y'all, for just being ignorant, just not seeing it that way, or just being in our own mode because it's hard being us, that we don't have time or didn't make the time now, because we're missing these blessings that we have. Because a lot of times when you pay attention, you're gonna you're gonna name at least a woman on your hand. That's your mother, your girlfriend, your baby mama, your daddy, your wife, or somebody that you're gonna say that person held me down more than so and so for years. And that's a fact. Like, why are we gonna play that game? I'm not fit to play that game. She has been in my life for a long time, and she knows that I'll be like, I only have like one or two people that are male that I trust, but she knows everything. And she's the one that hasn't really blinked and wavered. She's the one that's kind of always been solid, not the shaky kind. And you know what I'm saying? So let's be clear. Like, when our queens are out here, let's protect them, and let's not trash them. And then later on, see, because the apology tour ain't gonna be nothing like the trash tour. The apology tour is gonna be 35 seconds. You know what? We was wrong. We need to get some help. Sorry. But right now, it's gonna be like, you stupid, you the worst. Like, listen, let's pull up her resume. Let's pull up Toys, and I'll promise y'all, if y'all start looking back at his stuff, he's been a suspect. So y'all look at his stuff, not what his radio station, what he's been doing now since quarantine. Look at his character and look at her character, and then tell me something. Like, let's make it even. Like if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. But if we're not, let's not.
And the truth too is, you brought up a good point. It doesn't matter how much better we look as Black women. This woman goes to college, goes to school. She's educated. She's not dumb. And simply because she has twerk videos that, mind you, men have been sexualizing forever and profiting off of, somehow we still do, right? Yeah. Somehow she's less credible. How is that? It's like nothing matters. Oh, she made WAP, and so now it's a problem. She did something. How? Like, I was literally looking at a comment, and the person was just like, and it was a woman. The one, she was like, oh, well, she's not influential, or she was twerking, and it's not a good image. Who raising your kids, you or celebrities? Like, we raise our kids. We don't need to. I mean, this woman could have done a split upside down on a penis, and that doesn't mean that she should have got shot. Period.
That's a description. But yeah, definitely. But it's like this though. Like, the whole thing is like, when people look at violent acts that happen toward us, like Black men, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the difference right now, y'all. For everybody that's doing this, about Black men and Black women and how they're treated. And so this is my perspective. So when people start telling me about, like, yo, well, Jay, well, what did he do? Like, or he had a criminal background, or this, that, and the third. That's discrediting what happened based on what we think we know about people. And if you don't believe that people are framed, if you don't believe that people make mistakes, then that's a whole different conversation. But when we look at certain things and say, well, that's why somebody deserves that. And so that's what I instantly hear when you're talking about somebody saying, well, she twerked too much. So that means that It's like saying like a girl that dances all the time is just a freak. Like those are ideology things that I hope that we have evolved past. Now, if you want her to be a freak, admit that. But like making her that doesn't make her that. There's some frigid ass girls that be twerking like their business, and then they gonna close it up and have a electric fist around that thing. You ain't even getting into that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's funny that you say that because black men like when it comes to police brutality, we always see like in general white people be like, oh well, what was their criminal record? You know, their past record comes up. Oh, they should have just did this. Oh, they should have just did that. And we as black women be like, yo, I don't care what his past was. He didn't deserve to die. Nobody said he didn't deserve to go through due process.
Right.
We saying he don't deserve to die. But when it's our turn, it's like, well, what was she wearing? What was she doing there? Who is she with? Why does that matter?
Because we get depicted, to me as a man, like as a black man, we get depicted, right? But then somehow y'all are a subculture from that. So then y'all get depicted like triply, like, and then it goes deeper to that. Like we get it, like, well, man, dude, that dude had tattoos and all this. All of a sudden, it's like, well, what's her background? How she treat her kids? Like, it's a weird. It's just like I'm tired of people going around a circle to talk about nothing. Like at the end of the day, let's look at it. The person got shot. If he had a gun or not, should he have not, done some real time? Like he's not getting prosecuted at all. So then if you're not being prosecuted at all, it's about your brand because you would have been opening your mouth at this time.
Right.
Like first of all, it became rumors, and now she's coming out and certifyingly telling you what it is. So you still don't want to say anything? Why? Because what can you say? Because you don't want her to say something. So I just want us to say, like, it just really, like, y'all need to take WAP and make it a PAW, pause, attention. Stop withering away with your minds and start really paying attention to kind of stuff like that. Doesn't make sense. Like, she lost her mom. She lost her pop. She by herself in a different, state. And then now everybody's kind of like being on, but you imagine how alone you feel. But then you're trying to hold it together. Like a lot of people hold it together about their people and all of these secrets that they hold in their house. And then to get disrespected and talked about like that, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a double zero. Like, you know what I'm saying? There is no love. Where's the love at? And I'm holding you down. What I'm going to say is thank you, queens, and any woman of color, any woman at all that holds a man down that needs to be held down or doesn't know how to show it and he gets it anyway. Wants you to catch it by giving you a certain licking. I appreciate those. I appreciate that because you don't have to do it, and thank God that you do it because those strong men come back and we're appreciative. The ones that don't get it. Let's stop beating up at each other about things that we don't understand about. I've only heard her version, and her version sounds really messed up.
Right. It does. I mean, for somebody who has never, as far as I can, never had to deal with something like that, like, can you imagine being shot and then the world is like, oh, it's your fault. What were you doing? You probably was beating on him. Somebody, another comment was just like, people just don't shoot people for no reason. They don't, because women of domestic violence get shot and killed all the time simply because they no longer want that man. And I'm seeing these bitter, angry men come out, and I'm like, yo, who raised y'all? Because this right here is madness to me. Again, Black women are the least protected women, but we be on the forefront of every movement when it comes to our Black men, and that's from arranging protests or GoFundMe accounts, babysitting, making plates. Like, we are right there. But when it's our turn, we're questioned to the core. And not just by Black men, but by Black women too, who have probably been through the same thing. It's crazy.
That's a whole different scenario. Like we're questioning each other, and we're cross-examining each other and turning on each other. What's wrong is wrong. If it was reversed, then we should be on Megan. If Megan was the aggressor and she shot him in the foot, it should be like what's right instead of this twisted version that we have. We're having this twisted version, and we're having this. We're defending these things that are undefendable. We're talking about things that are undefendable. So then that's when they do feel vulnerable, and that's when they do feel mad and they feel angry because a part of me does think like, yo, y'all do come out harsh. But then now when you sit back and you go like, yo, if you're not really protected, like I'm good because at the end of the day, my friends, my cousins, people I mess with are gonna come. But does a black woman necessarily? More often than not, they do have to stand up for themselves. The other races are going to get 911 call. They're going to get people coming. That's just how it is. If y'all don't feel like it is in your area, well then that's y'all. But I'm just saying, in my perspective, and that's how it is. So I feel bad now. It's like, yo, because this didn't make any sense. This is the one time where we all should have came together. And guess what? A lot of industry dudes is quiet. A lot of celebrities is quiet. They're only now opening up because she had to. Everybody knew the story, and most of the time Hollywood's already connected and know more than what we know. And so they're choosing. And so even now the temperature is still letting a black woman know, even if you're successful, it just all depends on how the public feels.
Right. It doesn't matter.
And that's war. Because it's already hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Like, I'm not with it, y'all. I'm disappointed. Hashtag everybody get it together. Hashtag show more love and be down like everybody's down for you. If somebody's down for you and holding them down, holding you down, then do the same. And like, really, and try to make somebody look crazy or make them weird and all of this kind of stuff where they got to actually explain some kind of trauma. Like it's weird when victims have to talk about their trauma for y'all to believe them.
And then you don't believe them.
And then it's all for nothing.
Right. So then there's something called secondary trauma, which is what happens after you go through the first set of trauma. So for instance, if you were sexually assaulted or raped, that's the first set of trauma. The second set of trauma is having to go to the hospital to do a rape kit, having to tell people that you were raped, and then dealing with the police, and then having to feel like they don't believe you and nobody else believes you. That's secondary trauma. Secondary trauma can actually be more harmful than the initial trauma that caused you to have to go through it in the first place. My heart goes out to Megan because she has got, like you said, she doesn't have her parents, she doesn't have her grandmother. I'm hoping she has some really good friends, and outside of the one who, because I think one of her friends just completely dogged her out. So my heart definitely goes out to her because I have friends who I know will, if I call them with some emergency, even if they're in the middle of whatever, they're going to drop the phone. They're going to drop what they're doing. And they're going to, even if I don't see them face to face, they're going to listen to me as I shed my tears. I explain my experience. But I know that's not going to always be the case. I know that if I go to somebody outside of my circle, I face the consequences of possibly being dogged out myself. She is the victim, not Tory Lanez. She's the victim, and she's the victim who tried to protect somebody, and people are still saying that she's the problem.
And that's always going to be my issue. At the end of the day, she held it down and did something that's what we would want to do, right? Like you make a mistake, you get mad, whatever, you got jail, like, boom, man, I got to go to jail. I made that mistake, man. Come on, man. This is time. So then you get the pass, right? You get the pass, and then it's still not good enough. Come on, man. Like now I'm gonna call it, man. Like we're nigging on everything. Like let's redo the spades hand because this ain't right. Like if that's what we're gonna do, what's the point?
So you feel like, because me and you have personally talked about black men being able to make mistakes and everybody forgive them, but black women make a mistake and it's like the whole world is over. So do you still feel that same way right now? Like, yo, if this was a black man, this would be no problems. Like if Tory Lanez said, yo, I did shoot her.
It's such a warped version, right? So I think that's what the problem is. We are now been dealing with so many different things that we are not even paying attention and allowing ourselves to feel what y'all are feeling. And I'm guilty of that. I think like, yo, you might have it hard, but do you really have it hard? Yes, she really does have it hard. But before I was like, nah, man, like these dudes really could kill me. Like these dudes can really. So to answer your question about Tory, like, it could go either way. It could go, but to me, it went faster with her. And I think with females, with black women, it goes faster with y'all. Like it goes faster with y'all. Like instantly it's like, nah, it can't be this. Like y'all gotta explain. Like I don't be understanding it. Like, dude, like, but he has not had to explain at all. You know what I'm saying? Like at all. And now people are coming out like, yo, man, I need to hear something from you. But men and women spoke for him. Like, we got you. She should have known better. You heard his demon rap, sir. A lot of people, listen, y'all, some of these guys are just actors that can rap. Let's not believe that they are all of these things. And sometimes the other celebrity, but is knowing that about them. Like, he's not really that. He's really this color type. So let's not believe like we know people based on their music and whatever their style is, because a lot of things are just being portrayed because that's what sells. So y'all get caught up thinking y'all know this dude and this, that, and the third, when we don't know either one of them, but we do know something happened. And so those are facts that we can't not move away from. No, I definitely believe, see, that it's always going to be harder for y'all because there's two kind of stigmas that come with both of us, the black male and the black female. But y'all's is more of a unapologetic, like, it's not there. I don't think there's like, I mean, people just don't automatically go for y'all. There's a percentage that people started believing us a little bit. I don't think y'all get that. Like, I think it's always an uphill battle.
It definitely is. And then I just want to bring up that statistically, women who are victims of DV or sexual assault or rape aren't lying. Just statistically, they're telling the truth. It's just that we don't want to hear it, we can't believe it, and we just want to poke holes in their story just because it benefits us to do so.
Really, not maybe that, and a lot of times, guess what I'm understanding about being grown. Like, the truth is so uncomfortable, right? That's what it is. Truth is uncomfortable. That's what makes it the truth. A lie feels really good. A lie goes down your stomach, and it's smoother. It's a smoother taste. But a truth is very uncomfortable. So I think a lot of times it's easy to depict women in this fast. Like, well, what were you wearing? Well, how many dudes? Like, we don't talk about us as men being out there. Like, being out there, and we know it. Like, we celebrate it. Like, the women know it, the men know it, blah, 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 blah. As soon as a woman does it, then it's like this weird thing. Well, that's why this happened to you. Or that's why. So it's a different kind of thing that I can't wrap my head around because I didn't realize it was happening.
Yeah, you did bring up a good point. We don't question the men. Well, we both said it. We don't question the men. We'd be like, oh, what was she wearing? What was she doing? It's like women got to be these top of the line moral beings. Meanwhile, men get to just, boys will be boys. Like, how does that even make sense? How I'm not gonna say half the world because I don't know, but a lot of my friends have kids and they aren't with that guy. So we're supposed to be moral people, right? Boys will be boys, which also means that boys will be boys. They don't have to be responsible, but we are. So what's your definition of morality? Like, you know what I'm saying?
What is a moral compass? And that's what the issue is. And that's why I'm saying at this point now, y'all, we have to stop. Like, if you didn't realize it's this way, then take the edge off. Take whatever you think you know about Megan and look at what you know about Tory. Start looking at him.
They need to research him.
Yeah. Like, take your energy and research him. Not just like this, because he's been cool. He's been in the quarantine. He's been cool. He's funny. He's got his own little show. He's a little quirky, little short dude. I can't relate to him, but that's what he is.
Okay.
So cool. But check him out, and then make your judgment. Y'all making a judgment based on Tally her, and that's what makes it warped. And like, the courts, that y'all have already made her guilty without really even hearing the sides of it. And that's what's weird. And it screams out to me like, yo, how does that even make sense to y'all? Like, how do y'all know? Like, why would she? Like, man, no, women do it all the time. Women can call on you. Listen, if we raise our voice and get dominating, that's intimidating. That can, even if they could call right now and get you locked up for stuff like that, not even being physical. We get away with a lot of stuff because they know us and they know, like, well, man, my baby just got an attitude. Well, I did say something. There's a part of them that think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I remember, like, with me and my wife one time, we went somewhere and we got pulled over, and her voice is what was calming me down. It was her going to me like, calm down. Like, it was her going, it was, you know what I'm saying? It was me, her, and it was her going like, no, like, at the end of the day, I don't know these guys and the way this is going. No, it was, there's real moments that we cannot deny that, like, on average, most guys be like running away or doing something else. You know what I'm saying? It was an uncomfortable, scary type of moment that we were dealing with, and it was her calmness and her being right there at that moment that was like, nah, man, I'm right here, but you're gonna have to calm down. And so, come on, man, like, your mama, your aunts, your grandmas, or any of them have done something that you go like, yo, I appreciate that. And so that's all we're saying. Like, are we gonna continue to ignore that they're holding us down? Are we gonna really pretend? Because I'm not. I'm gonna say it. Like,
Yeah.
and I hope that I make y'all feel small because I'm being real about it. Like, it's really like that. Women really do hold us down, and if they didn't, we would be in a whole lot of trouble.
Ooh, yes. So we hope that you enjoyed our show today, and we appreciate whoever did listen as we were live, and we definitely appreciate those who will listen later on.
Yeah, check us out all day.
All day, and we will love your feedback. And you can also follow us on YouTube under the same title of Life After the L Word.
After the L Word. After the L Word. Love. That's enough.
He does too much, but I love him so much. He's my baby. All right, guys, until next time, enjoy your day.
Yes, sir. And as always, love life and live love.
Bye.